Why is it so hard to correct for things like privacy violations or bias or hallucination with generative AI as compared to non-generative or narrow AI? The simple answer is that when it came to, let's say, bias mitigation for AI models, for narrow AI models, you had the data scientists, these team of experts, doing what they need to do to identify bias, initiate or to design risk mitigation, bias mitigation strategies and tactics, executing on them, re-evaluating them for bias, blah, 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 until the bias levels were sufficiently low. So that's the way it goes with narrow AI. Then you deploy to the user and the bias of the system will be inherited by the bias of the user. But the user, there are exceptions, but for the most part, doesn't inject their own biases or accidentally produce biased outputs from the AI that you're using. But of course, with generative AI, they're creating the prompts. The user is creating the prompts. That's going to have a huge impact, of course, on what the outputs look like. And so if the user is biased in some way, explicitly or more likely implicitly, then you're actually going to prompt it and get biased outputs. And there's an extent to which the data scientists, whether they're the builders of the foundation model or they're the, let's say, in-house developers of a non-tech Fortune 500 company who fine-tuned or introduced RAG into that model, there's only so much they can do, and then the users at the end of the day may introduce new biases into the system or into what the outputs look like. And so this is one reason, not only why solving for bias, solving for privacy violations, solving for hallucinations is so hard with generative AI, it also screams out the absolute necessity of giving those end users the appropriate kind of training.